see how this works. And welcome to welcome to episode 3. This time it's on Wednesday. Remember, this is Python Wednesday, and I want you guys to stay focused. I'm trying to make sure it's bright, try to make it look professional, but we're going to get right down to it. So we're going to talk about, again, Python, and we're going to add some things. And I'm looking at my screen to make sure everything's done as far as working. So if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at the chat because last time I missed people that were on the chat and I had no idea. So I'm going to look over here again to see if there's anybody in the chat. Because I felt embarrassed. So people were on, like, yo, I'm asking you a question. So hold on. I'm seeing now. Because I had no idea. Nobody was on there. So hold on, I'm looking, I'm double checking. Probably gonna eliminate this first part because this is like talking. So hold on one second. I'm looking. I think it's going. So I told my students that, hey, when it comes to this, this is new, but I see this stream chat. Okay, I think I got it. So it's working. So I think we're okay. So we're gonna start it from there. So I hope I don't mess this up. So here we go. No, I'm gonna delete this because I want to make sure this works. Because I hate to do this all over again. And well, what the heck? Let's go with it, right? Let's just go. Let's just do this. So all right. So I'm checking the chat, and I don't see anybody in there. So we're gonna start. All right. So I have Microsoft Visual Studio Code up. Okay, I have Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So today, real basics. How to install, well, we already did how to install Pygame, Python, but today we're going to install something I think I already have, NumPy. It's a package library. It's a package library that allows you to do some quick calculation when it comes to numbers using Python. Then we're going to do Pandas, collecting information, doing some data statistics. Allows you to collect files from different sources and put them together. And then we have Matplotlib. So we're going to create some charts and graphs. So we're going to see how we'll mess this up. All right. So bear with me. So we're going to start off with, let's create a Python file. So I have my workspace here. And right now I only have Python installed. So again, go to your extensions, go to Python. Now for me, I use the one from Microsoft. Okay, I use the one from Microsoft. So that's where you'll see the Python here, the debugger, the environment. That's what I use. So if you watch the last stream, that's what I use. Okay, and I'm not gonna do NumPy yet, or Matplotlib or Pandas yet until we actually do it. But like I said, even after you install the package, the extension, restart Visual Studio Code. Because sometimes I've seen some students that kind of like, this is not working, this is not working right, why is it not working? And I don't want you guys to get frustrated. So anyway, let's create a new file. So I can double click on the workspace or go to File, New. Okay, so go to File, New. But what I'm gonna do is File, New, and hold on. Let me go to my Explorer right here. And this is work from last week's project. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new folder. Okay, I'm gonna create a new folder, and right here we'll call it let me see, new folder, and we'll call it Python. Let's do it stats. My stats. Okay, so I got a new folder. I called it my stats. That's where I'm saving. I don't need the Git library. So I got my folder here, and I'm going to create a new file. Now you could use it from here, from there. It's up to you. Okay, where do you want it? So it's going to be a Python file, save as, and we'll call it main. Okay, main.py. Okay, so I got main. All right, so I'm gonna close this so you guys can see the screen, and we'll zoom out. Okay, so got my main file. So this is my files, my Python file. So what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about an array. So so you get a further understanding. Python, you could do like simple instructions, like calculations, 3 plus 2. And if I run it, the white dot means it's not saved yet. Control S or file save. X means it's saved. To play it, notice execute it, run it. It'll debug first and then run it. Oop, it looks for the interpreter. My interpreter is right here. Okay. Poof. And then my answer will be in the terminal. Okay. So there it is, 5. Okay. So that message I got, if you're creating a new folder or if you're installing an extension, it's looking where that Python program is. It's like the executable file. Well, it'll take that code and interpret it and debug it, run it, and execute it. So if I hit play, there it is, 5. Say it's running that file. So I got it. It's going. So you could do basic math operations, this, that. You could say my wage is equal to $12 and my hours is equal to 40 hours. And then you can say print. Oops. It's case sensitive, so it's lower print. And the open parentheses is actually what you see here. It's actually a function. It's a program that's built into Python. Okay. So in here you have parameters. In this case, I'm going to say, let me move this over here so I can see my keyboard. So I'm going to say my wage. Okay. My wage times my hours. And it'll give me 12 times 40. And it'll do simple stuff. All right. You can do this simple stuff. All right. That's variables. All right. It's like X equals this, X. Well, what if you have a lot more items in there? Well, that's called an array. So in this case, we're going to create an array. So let's create something with months. Okay. How do we do just January? Now, in this case, this is a string, right? String is not a number. I have to put a word in here. Okay. Oh, I put January. Okay. January. So that's one item, right? It's just one item. So I run it, nothing happens, right? Because I didn't do anything except I just stored information. But if I say print months, okay. If I say print months, run it, it says January because that's what is this container. But if I have a list, you want to use what's called an array. Okay. And that's what you see here. Okay. So I'm going to do it this way so it's nice and neat. So here's an array. Normally you may see it like this. Some programs you may see, February, comma, was it March? Okay. You may see it like a list like this. Okay. That's normal. But what I like to do is I like to kind of make it neater column so I can see everything. It's like a little bit better. Like to me, that's just me. A lot of programmers have their own styles. So I could see this is an array. Okay, so all this is in an array, it's inside a container. So it gives me the bucket, the box, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. So that's what helps me. And I know at the end of each record, there's a comma, so I can visually see instead of going straight across. Again, it's whatever you feel pleasing. But if I want to enter more information, so March, okay, April. You see me like bending down. I'm looking past my mic. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, So I got all my months. Do I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So I have all my 12 months. I have 12 records. Keep in mind the first record starts at 0. That's one of the little tricks. Not tricks, but it stumps up a lot of students. Like, what? It starts at record 0. Because normally, you, like in Excel, your record 0, you don't see it. That's your header, that ABC. That's your record 0. But your record 0, it's your first record. Boom. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So yes, you have 12 records, but it starts at 0 and it ends at 11. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if I want to print months, see this? If I want to print months, it's not going to print all of it. It's going to print, I mean, like nice and neat. It's going to print it like this. Okay, everybody see that? All right. So it's telling me that this is in a container. It's in the container. All right. It's in the container. So let's say I want to do something else, another one. Days of the week. Now, this is not 1, 2, 3 through 11. This is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So I'll say Sunday, Monday. Oh, I forgot the comma. Okay. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right, so I got Sunday through Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 records, okay? And it starts at 0, okay? So same thing here. If I wanted to do months, I would do print, okay, print months. But if I want to do days of the week, so days, there it is, days of the week, okay, run it, it'll print out my months, and then it'll print out the days of the week. All right, so it showed me what's in my container. It shows me what's in my container. Now, if I want to do it nice and clean, before I do that, let's say I wanted to do certain things, right? Like a certain record. So let's say I wanted record 2. Okay, I'm gonna comment this out. Commenting is your pound sign. You change the letter green. So let's say I want to print record 2. So this is for months. So you're looking at 0, 1, 2, right? So it should be March. Should it be March? There it is, March. Because it's looking at my index. So if I change that to, let's say, 2, I want to do a range, 2 to 5. Okay, March, April, May. Shut up. Yep. Now, I always had somebody to do something. Like, what if, okay, what if I wanted to do specific ones? Like, some people were like, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh, I thought I'm typing. Okay, what if I wanted to print out specific months? Could I do this? No, you would have to do in separate, right? You would have to do print months 2, and then a new one, print months 5. Okay, so that wouldn't work. Okay, so if I did this way, like copy this, you'll see the error. Okay, I would have to do it this way. So 5, and then 2, and then it would do it that way. See, March and June. Okay, so you can do a comma and stuff like that in there. It doesn't work, but you're tempted, right? You're tempted to try some new stuff and see how it goes. Yeah, I would too. So let's say I want to do each day of each month, but you want to make it look nice and pretty. Okay, you want to do it nice and pretty. So you would actually create a loop, something that's going to repeat itself, and say, I want you to print something out individually, one at a time. Because you already saw I could do print 0, print 1, print 2. It makes it nice and pretty, no square brackets. So let's do it in a loop. So instead of me saying print months 1, 0, then print months 1, print months 2, print months 3. Could I just say print months and have that in the variable? Oh, yeah. Now, this is what I meant. So if I do print month. Okay. Okay. And I did 0. Okay. I would have to do the same. Oops. I would have to do the same thing. Like if I wanted to go like just 4 times or whatever. 1, 2, 3. All right. It'll print out January, February, March, April. Okay. But then that means I would have to add each line over and over again. See how it's repeating itself? So that tells me I need to create a loop. What? Create a loop. So what if I say 4? Now you could do I in range. Okay, I is like one imaginary number. So you can say, now it's that range, you're going to do like months. Okay, months. So we're looking at this. So it knows how many months are in here, right? It knows how many months. I don't have to do a length. It knows how many months in here. It knows there's 12 records. So I'm doing a loop 12 times. So months, colon is your due. So it's doing something from 0 to 11. So it's going to go 1 through the all the way 12 times, right? So I'm going to type in print. Okay. And I'll do months. Okay. Now I'll do months or I'll do I. Now check this out. It's looking for a number. Okay. It's going to look for a number. Right now it's 0. Okay. Now it's 0. Okay. So it's going to do it like 12 times. 0 is going to print out whatever is in here. Okay. So, and then it's going to loop again. It's going to loop again. So check this out. Wow. January, February, March. Nice and cleaner. No brackets. Okay. No brackets. Nice and clean. Okay. So nice and clean. So what it is it starts off at 0. Okay. And do months. Like, so it's 0 to 11. And it's going to go and look. It knows how many it's going to go as far as in the loop, right? So it's going to print out whatever the value of I is, which is in months. Okay, it's in months. So just make sure you understand that. So just to make sure you're clear, let's take the I out. Okay, we'll just use it for M. Okay, we say M. So M in months. So it's going to give me the M number. And of course, I got to change this I to M. So it knows M, the first one is 0. Then it's going to loop again. 1, 2. So M, it knows it needs to print out whatever number is for this value, all right? All right. So just to make sure that makes sense. And I could do the same thing for days of the week. So I could do 4, and let's say D, in days of the week, colon for to do, all right? And just print out D. Okay. Print that D. So I'll get month and then days of the week. Okay. So let's say I wanted to be a little fancy. I want to do a little fancy here, right? So I say, let's say print. Okay. So say, I'm going to print, and it's going to be months of the year. Okay. Okay. So it's going to print out months of the year once, and then it's going to do the loop. So I'll play it. All right. Month of the year. And then, of course, you could do something else, the days of the year. All right. So then here, okay, make sure you tab over. Okay. Because if you don't, it's going to print out days of the week. Forgot to put that nice little, shut off the notifications. All right. So it's, if you don't put this here, if you would put this here, okay. Okay, if I would put that there, it would print out this 12 times. Check it out. All right. Days of the week, it print out 10 times because it's still in the loop. Now, how you can tell it's in the loop, if I collapse it, it's gone. So make sure you don't have that tabbed over. Make sure it's back here so I start up a new line. That's why I like to keep that space because visually I can see it's separated. But if you play, poof. All right, months of the year, days of the week. Okay. Now, somebody said, couldn't you do this? Okay. If you want to do a space, all right. All right. Ooh. All right, if you wanted to keep them separate. Some other languages will expect a parameter in there. And two, I still like to space it out so then you can see what's actually happening so visually. So you would do double quotes, so you know it's like a blank space. In Java, you have print line, print, and print line. So print line, next line, print, same line, so on and so forth. So let's say I wanted to, so now you got this, right? It brings out the months and the days of the week. So let's say you want to print out specific things. Okay, so you want to do print examples. So again, like we did before, so print, okay, and I'm gonna say first month. Okay, so I got the, oops, I gotta put my little quotation mark. So I got the first month, right? So I got the first month. I'm trying to make it look nice. Okay, so it's gonna say per month. Now, if I want to do it all on the same line, you don't use plus, use comma. Plus, if for some other things, you would combine two numeric values in variables, and you can add it together. But when it's strings, you can't combine numbers. Use the comma. So here, first month, I'm gonna do, now what am I? I'm going to go into the months array. So yes, it's gonna print out first month, the word first month, right? Let me take this comma out so it doesn't give me an exception error. All right, so I got the dates, and here it says first month, right? It's gonna say first month. So what do you want it to say? Well, got my little space there, okay? But then I have to tell it to go into the months array. Go into the months array, okay? Go to the months array, all right? And then I have to tell what record I want it to go get. So let's say I want record 4, okay? So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that May? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, January, February, March, April, May. May, right? So if I go record 4, index 4, and there it is, first month, May. Okay, so you can tell it specific what to do. You can tell it specifically what to do. Now, let's say you did a -1. Okay, what's that? Because I had a student ask me that. Okay, first month, September. And you need to ask yourself, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? All right, so you have December, November, October. Shut up. So it's in reverse. It's selecting the last record forthcoming from the end. Yeah, so if I want to do the last one only, last record, poof, it'll print out December for -1. Shut up. So you can do first month, last month, third month. So you do it from the top. But if you want to go backwards, you can do it. And it works the same way if you do first day and last day. Okay. So now that's how we created an array and how you can access records from it. Okay. Records for it. You see me, I'm looking at the channel just to make sure I'm looking. Okay. So like, whoa, I could do this. Now, what if you want to access this from another file? What? Hey, you want to access this from another file. So we have our main, right? We have our main. And let's create another file. And we'll save this. Here we go. We're going to save this here. Okay. And we're going to call it calendar data. Okay. Somebody was like, what? calendar_data.py. Okay. calendar_data.py. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. All right. calendar_data.py. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my arrays. Okay. I'm going to grab my arrays, both of them. All right. I'm going to grab my arrays. Okay. And I'm going to put them there. Okay. So if I run it, that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen. I'm not printing anything, this and that. It just stored my files. All right. I'm going to split the screen up so you can actually see how this works. All right. If you don't know how to split the screen up, right here. These are your toolbars, menus, pop up on the side, your screen bars right here. All right. So I have my arrays here. Okay. It's under calendar_date. Oh, hold on. I got to rename this. No, I don't want to save it as. I want to rename it. Right mouse click. Right here. Rename. And it's A. And anything I rename here, it actually renames it in Explorer, because the Explorer here is same as Explorer. If you delete there, it deletes it there. So I have my array here, okay? My 2 arrays there, all right? So everything's cool, but then you got some yellow. Yellow thinks that my software editor, because the way it's set up in the environment, it's looking for months, and months is not loaded here, okay? It's not loaded here. So you're trying to wonder, like, okay, what do I do? What do I do, right? So what we got to do is the first line from, okay? And I want to look for calendar data. So I'm saying, and this is my program file. This is that program file that everything's going to be running from. This is just my data file. It's Python, it's data, it has just my arrays. So I'm going to say in my program file, go from, so you go in here, and then you're going to say, hey, from calendar, I want you to import, okay, and what am I importing? Months, okay. So if you notice, yo, there's no warning, no, because I'm using it, I'm importing months, okay. But what if I wanted days of the week as well? Then now you put comma, days of the week, okay. So now I have days of the week in there. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. So there's no error in it. Nope, because now this file is linked to this. Like an Excel spreadsheet. You know, you link from one spreadsheet to another spreadsheet within the workbook, or a spreadsheet to another spreadsheet, another workbook. Okay. So again, from calendar underscore data, import months and import days of the week. And you're probably thinking, is this going to still run? Yo, there it is. It still runs. Why would you do that? Well, for security reasons, efficiency, you could create files where somebody has access to off another folder, another directory, because you don't want to have access to these files, and this just runs your program. Okay, so it knows how to collect the data. But that gives you practice that, hey, if we can do that, can we access files for like Excel, text files, CSV files? Oh my gosh, yeah, SQL. That's the power of Python. Okay, so now it's giving you an idea how you can grab information from other files. Okay, but guess what we're gonna do? Yo, what are we doing now? Yo, not only we could do the same thing, right? Not only we could do that, well, let's create another file. What? Yeah, we're gonna create a program. All right, so this is your code. All right, but let's say you create another program. What? This is too much. So let's move this over here and open up another file. And that's going to be another Python file, okay? And you know what? I'm going to do it from here because I want you guys to actually see what's happening. I can use new folder or new file. So I'm going to create another file. And this file I'm going to call, let's say, calendar, okay, school tools, okay, .py, okay? So now you can, I can create it from here or go files. At least you get to see actually what happens. So I got 3 files now. So I'm gonna close this one. I got main, calendar tools. So I'm gonna split the screen out so I can see this and this. All right. Now you can see why some people have like big wide screens, this and that, because they want to see all the programs together. What I'm gonna do is create a function. Okay, it's like a program within a program. So you know how I created a variable? You had like a month equals January. It's 1-to-1. Okay. Then you had an array. Month equals a list of records. Well, now I have a program that I can have lines of code all equal to one variable. But this variable is actually a function. So whenever I call it, all right, in other words, run it, I call it, it's gonna run those lines of code. You're like, what? Yeah, so how do we initiate it or initialize it? df, define, and we're gonna call it print, okay, underscore list. Okay, so this is how it would start. Okay, so let me move this over so everybody can see. This is how it would start. Okay, so I got a print list. And you're probably thinking, what do you want to do? We want to print something. Like what? Well, I'm not sure. So let's put some parameters inside. Okay, title. Okay. And then you're going to have items. Okay. So, and what do you want it to do? Now, let me make this smaller. Oops. Okay. That's your do. Just like I'm like itch. That tells me I'm tired. So here I have define print list, title, and items. Okay. So those are parameters. So when I print something, when I run this, I'm going to say, hey, I want certain things, something called title, and the next thing is going to be items. That's in the title category and items category. So what do I want it to do when I run this program? Well, I want it to print title, whatever the title is. Okay. Okay. And then it's going to run a loop. So let's say for item. And you're probably like, what is this for? In items. Okay. So it's a loop within a function. And what we're going to do is print, okay, item. Okay. And you're probably thinking, what are we doing? Okay. So this by itself is a program with parameters. Okay. If I didn't have any parameters, okay, it would be this. All right. Of course, this means like it's a warning. You have something that you're not using. Okay. So I could just say here, I want you to print my name, print stars, whatever. So whenever I run it, it would do whatever I tell it to do. But in this case, we have some parameters and you can see how this is going, right? And again, you can see the lines right here. Okay. That tells you this is all underneath. So if I collapse it, it's all together. Okay. So let's create another function. Okay. We're playing with this. Get item. Okay. So what we're going to do is what we're going to get items. Index. Just because I'm writing index, this is telling you that, oh, I'm telling you to do something, to go retrieve some information. Okay. And what's great about this supports negative numbers too. So anyway, return. Okay. Okay. And what am I returning? Items, whatever items is, and the index number. Okay. Remember, you have like, if I say get, I want you to print months and you have square brackets, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to put the index number record where you're going to get it from. All right. So I have my calendar tools, and it has 2 functions in it. In other words, 2 programs. And here I have my data, and here's I have my regular script. Okay. Regular script. Let me move this over. I'm trying to make this look really nice so everybody can see it without making it really small. All right, well, it looks like I'm gonna have to do it. Okay. I was trying not to make it too small. Okay. So if you want me to zoom in, guys, I'll zoom in, guys. Hey, we have somebody to chat. Hey, how you doing? Hey, hi. Welcome to the stream. Okay. So somebody, this is where I gotta get a different screen. I gotta get something like that's big and some sounds like the ding. I gotta get, that's what it is. I gotta get the alarms. I gotta, when an alarms notification. Okay. So here we go. Oh, and I put a space. Okay, here we go. All right. So what I'm gonna do in my main, all right. So here it says, I said from calendar data, it's importing all my months, right? So in here, all right, for me to call those functions from this program, I have to import what? So I have to say from calendar tools, import, and then I'm going to say import print list. All right. Why print list? Because I have a print list here and I have a get item. So print list, comma, get item. Okay. So I'm importing it. The reason why they're kind of faded out because I haven't used them yet. All right. So I haven't used them yet. So here I have print month of the year, right? So what I'm going to do, let's say I don't do that. I just say print list. Oops. Okay. I do my print list like, whoa. So I do have my months of the year. And what am I doing? I'm going to print out my months of the year. Where am I getting? Months. Oops. Oh, I didn't want to put colon. It's supposed to be comma. Remember combining? So what that's going to do is it's going to print out my string, my label, and next to it, and let me put a colon to make it look nice. Okay, months of the year, and it's going to show months. So it's going to go into where? Here, and it's going to print out my month. So you're like, what? But I want a blank line. You want what? I want a blank line. I don't want this. It's going to print out a blank line. Yep. All right. So you're like, why are you taking the loop out? Wait a minute. Shut up. It's doing the loop here. Yes. So print less. Okay. And then days of the week. Quotation mark. Days of the week. Okay. Make it look nice. You got my colon. Oh, no, colon. Okay. And then, of course, the comma. And what am I print out? Days of the week. Okay. So I have nice old comma there, days of the week. Okay. So guess what? I'm going to get rid of all this. You're like, son of a gun. You can see it's a bit more efficient. All right. It's very more efficient. So let me save this. I saved here. There's only X's. There's no circles. So I'll run it. Poof. There you go. All right. Month of the year. Days of the week. Why? Because I'm doing the same thing here. I did it here. Okay. I did it here. All right. So it's looking at, you're probably thinking, where is it getting from? Remember, item. Okay. My title and items. And you're probably thinking, how's it getting this information? Because remember, print list has a category. Okay. And what is it doing? It's grabbing months. Okay. It's grabbing months. So one, the index. Next is what? The label. And then when you look at here, items. Wait. What is it doing? You say print list. Okay. Not getting items. Print list here. Here are my parameters. I have the print title, and then it does the loop. We'll do it again. Okay. Days of the week. Okay. Go what? Months of the year. So what is it doing? Months of the year. And then, poof, it's going to do record 0. Okay. It's going to do record 0. Then basically item, boom, 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 boom. It's like awesome. It's like amazing. Same thing, print list. Now, here's the thing. What if I want to do get item? Because I haven't used it yet. Okay. Get item allows me to go specifically and get specific records. So let's say I'll do a print. Give me a space. All right. And then here I'll do print. And to make it nice and pretty, open crazy, poof. And this could be my first month. Remember the first month we did? Okay. First month. And nice little thing. And then, of course, got to do the comma. And what am I going to get? I want a specific one, just like this here. I'm going to say get. Okay, what am I getting? Get item. So in my get item, I have a parameter. Okay, so I got items and index. All I'm going to type is the days of the week. Okay, so what am I going to do? I have to tell it, well, I'm not going to do days of the week. Yeah, I'm going to do days of the week. So days of the week, okay? All right, that's the items, but I need to know what record number it is. Specific one, all right? Because if I don't, it's going to print out all the days of the week, right? In this case, comma, 2. So what am I doing? I'm telling it the index, because remember, this is where you return. This is my item, poof, and this is the index number. We did it earlier, right? Remember? We said days of the week in colon square brackets, open square bracket, close square bracket. Inside there was like a 1. That's what we're doing here. So I apply. And then first month, Tuesday. Okay, it should have been the first day. Okay, so Tuesday because I picked number 2. All right, if I picked number 1, I would have said 0. And there you go. Boom, for Sunday. All right, so I'm using a program that was created by somebody else, put it there, that can access the data. Okay, So I want you to get used to it. Like I can write code for stuff that's already there. I can write code to access information that's already there stored in a file or files. I can use code to access programs, scripts, also known as functions, to access data from another file. So it makes it kind of cool. It makes it kind of cool. All right. So again, what takes us to the next one? All right. So we did this. Now let's go into NumPy. All right. Some of you are probably thinking, what the heck is NumPy? Okay. Think of numbers for Python. Fast math. Simple terms. Numbers for Python. It stores numbers in special arrays, okay, that can do calculations, okay? Way faster than normal Python. It's like you won't see hesitation. Like, okay. And you probably say, what, 2 times 3? No, we're not talking about simple stuff like 12 times 13, 156, or 13 times 13, 169. We're not talking about that. We're talking about some large data. Forgot the average for calculations for something that's like maybe 2,000 records. Okay, or find the every fifth student, find their average, and you're writing loops for it. Now, Pandas is a spreadsheet. It's Python's spreadsheet tool. That's all it is. It lets you load CSV files and organize it in what's called DataFrames, and they'll filter it and give you a summary of what's in your file. Okay, like Excel, but just using code. So you start thinking, hey, I don't even have to pay for a license for Excel? No. But some people say, well, you can use Google Sheets, but you can just do whatever. All right, and then you can sort and hire numbers, this and that. Now, for this to work, all right, we're going to do something else. We're going to do something different, okay? For this to work, okay, we need to import NumPy. So we're gonna try this, okay? We're gonna try this. So we're gonna import some files, okay? And when I say import some files, not necessarily files, it's gonna be like a package, data library, all right? So we have this. I'm gonna close this, all right? And I'm closing it. Like this is still there. It didn't go away. It's still there because remember those files are still there, okay? All right. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of all this, okay? Actually, no, let's create some new files. Because we want to play with something. All right, so file, save as. Oh, no, what? I need to stop doing that because I want you guys to actually get practice. So we're gonna create a new file. Okay, we're gonna create a new file, and we're gonna play around with some stuff. Okay, we're gonna play around with some stuff. And when I say play around, we're gonna do some crazy stuff. So what we're gonna do is let's call like a my first NumPy. My first NumPy dot py. Okay, so let's close this, close that, and let's move this up. All right, first NumPy. So let's see, we're gonna import NumPy. Now, if you don't have this working, all right, you can always do terminal. Okay, if you're still getting error, you can do pimp, okay, install NumPy. So if you get an error, okay, enter. Now mine, it says it already exists, but if yours didn't, okay, it'll begin the install. Okay, it'll begin install. So pip install NumPy. So in this case, I got import NumPy, okay? And because I don't like typing, we're gonna import NumPy as NP. All right, you could call it whatever you want, like XP, whatever, but don't say X because you could be using X for something else. So it tells me whenever I need to use NumPy, I'm gonna use NP. Okay, I'm gonna use NP. So you can see, like, because I put my mouse over it, look, NumPy, an array of object. It's looking at, all right, because I used NP. That's my AKA, so you know it's working. So we're gonna do months, okay, and we're gonna do equals. I'm gonna do it a little quicker. Jan and comma Feb, comma February, March, April, What I should have done was just copy the thing over. May, but I'm trying to see. I'm not gonna go that far. And we'll do June. Okay. So this is my list of months. All right. And then let's say sales list. Let's create a new array. We'll call it sales list. So now let's say these are the sales numbers, right? So I'm gonna do 1200. Now you'll notice it's not in double quotation marks, right? Because these are actual numeric value. So they're not labels. So 1100. I got 1200, 1500, 1100. What am I gonna do? So I'm gonna do 1800. And then I have 1700. And then I got 1200, 1500, 1100, 1800, 1700. So let's put, let's say 1600. All right. So because I'm doing this, I have one number for each month. So it's basically, I called a two-dimensional array. Shut up. Okay. Now, then I'm going to combine them. Okay. Sales equals. Now, guess what? NP. That's it. All right. So that's NumPy. All right. So I do dot. And what am I looking for? An array. Okay. And this array, what am I looking for? Sales list. Because this is actually a function, right? I mean, well, some people call it a method. So this is actually a little program, and it has parameters. What am I looking for? And you can see when I'm going over it. I'm trying to get my notification up. It needs something. So what I'm going to do is say, look at my sales list. Okay? Because we're doing numbers. We're not doing this. We're going to calculate numbers. We're saying, look at our sales list. All right? And whatever you look at our sales list, all right, you're storing it in the NumPy. Get ready for calculations. It's all going to be stored under sales. Okay? It'll be stored on sales. So what am I going to do? Let's say print. Okay? And let's say total sales. Okay? I'm going to do total sales. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what I got total sales? Well, I could just do simple things. Sales, right? Dot, sales. Because that's this right here, right? I'm using my finger. Sales, dot, and what I'm gonna do is, what are the options? Oh, sum. Okay, nuh-uh. Yep, so use the sum program. It's gonna add them all up. 8,900. Okay, now what if I want to do the mean? The average. Well, I don't want to say the average. We'll call it the mean. Okay. Okay, the mean. So I'm gonna do sales because everything's in there, right? Okay. Dot mean. Okay. So this is the mean. So it's gonna give me that sales sums and the mean. Shut up. All right. So, did I spell that right? The mean. Oh, I had extra spaces. I didn't realize I had extra spaces. Yes. Okay. So the mean. So you can say, can you do the max? The max. The max. Then you could do the min. Okay, so, that's what happens when you type too fast. Fat fingers. Okay, so I got min, max. Okay, so you're like, what? All right. So I good, bad. Okay, so I'm trying to do total. I thought I was still typing. So what I'm trying to do is, what if I want to do standard deviation? What? Yeah, I want to do standard deviation. You got numbers, right? So the standard deviation. So again, sales, sales dot, and in this case, if you don't remember, all right, if you don't remember, you can always say standard deviation. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, will this work? I just remembered. Okay. Will this work? STD? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. So I have. Oops. Okay, we're gonna find out. I may have to do it a different way for standard deviation. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So I wasn't sure, but I think this should work because sales is NP, so it should work. So okay, so check it out. All right, ready? So I got my sales. 1483 is the mean, the max, the min, and there's my standard deviation. That's the average change between items. Okay, so you're like, what? Okay, so I have my standard deviation, right? Max, min, and the mean, the total sales. So you can actually have it do certain things. All right. Some people are like, what? Now, what if, okay, what if you had it, how can I put it? Standard deviation like a 2. You're like, what? 2? Yeah, you wanted a 2. So if I wanted like two decimal places, I mean that could be something that's I could do something totally different. But just want to make sure I save my stuff. Save. If I wanted to do two decimal places with the code I have, how different would it be and this and that? Well, you could change the format of some stuff. It's like if I have total sales, you have sales.sum. But if you say, hey, I want to use a format, it's like the letter F. You see it in JavaScript. You see it in C#, C++. So let's say I wanted to use the F as a format. So whatever you want to change the format of how things are listed, you want to basically put an F somewhere. Okay. So let's say I'm going to put an F in every one of them before the quotation marks. So that means I'm going to mess around with a format somewhere. So here I have sales.sum, right? And what do you want to do with the format? So I'm going to say after my sum, I want it to go to decimal places. So it's 0.2 F. That tells me 2 decimal places. And I want to have a curly bracket inside of this. Okay, so you're saying, hey, I got an F somewhere. And it's in here. And the comma won't work. Okay, so you have to take the comma out. That's why you see still error. So I have my F format, and I have total sales. Okay, and I don't need this quotation mark. All right, and because it's in the wrong spot. And then inside, it's going to be in curly brackets, sales dot sum, because the sum is where sales is my sales is my array. It's going to grab everything from here. I mean, for my sale list, not the months. For my sale list, puts it in here and basically contains it as a number. It's like a little Excel spreadsheet. Keeps it on the side. So here I have my format. So if I have an F here saying, oh, I have a format issue somewhere in here. This is my string, and there's my format. Curly brackets. I'm still using my variables. Okay, it's still looking at my variable, and it's using the sum function. It's still gonna give me the sum, and I wanted 2 decimal places, and then after the curly bracket, it's done. You see what I did? It's done. All right. So if I run this, I'm going to get an error because it's looking at F. It's going to wonder what the heck that is. It's going to think that, what is this, a variable? Okay. So you can see where I have total sales, 2 decimal places, even though it was like 8,900, but everything else is just normal because I didn't do anything. Okay. I didn't do anything. So in here, I would again take this out. Okay. Curly bracket. Colon 2F curly bracket, okay, and then there's my string. Okay, there's my string. So inside my string, I have a label, and when the answer it gives out to me, go 2 decimal places. Same thing here. Take this out. Don't need the colon. I mean the comma. Curly bracket. Okay, colon point 2F. Close curly bracket. Oof. So this whole thing right here is telling me what's going on. Okay, it's telling me what's going on. That now I'm beginning my format, and I'm gonna have 2 decimal places on whatever amount there is here. Okay, so you don't need the comma because it's gonna think you're doing a value. It's missing. Okay, so I got 2F. Okay. And close curly bracket. Boom. Okay. Oh, I forgot to take this one out. Okay. And then they do the same thing here. Curly bracket, comma, curly bracket, colon, 2F. Oh, nope. There you go. So right now, everything is going to have 2 decimal places. You can change it to 4 or 5, just increase the number. But everything's 2 decimal places. When I run it, nice and clean. There's my standard deviation, 254.41. There you go. Okay. Look at the time. Just look at making sure you're okay. So I'm using NumPy. Makes it look nice and professional. You can do certain things. If I wanted to round, okay. If I want to round numbers, you could tell like how many numbers you want to round it if you don't want to do this. So let's do an example. I'll grab these 2 and I'll do further down and I'll say this is rounding. Okay. Oop. So, right. So at least you know it's rounding, right? So, oh, and let's put a space. Oh, you know what? Instead of me typing print, teach you something new. New line. Is it new line? Yeah. Yeah, it is new line, right? No, it's inside. Okay, new line. So what this does, it prints out a new line. Okay, so it's supposed to be like next line. See where it's like. So instead of me doing print, the /n. Something I always keep forgetting if it's before the quotations, after the quotation mark. All right. So what I'm going to do is let's do this. Print. All right. Oh, I already have it. So print total sums, right? So I'm going to take the F out. So when I got to do the F, I'm going to take the F out. So I'm going to have, all right. So I'm going to have the quotation mark in here. Okay. Comma back. Okay. Now I'm taking out the curly bracket because I'm not using format anymore, right? I have the dot sum. So since I'm not using format anymore, I'm going to take this out. But I want you to round, right? Now if I do 2 cells, round to 2 decimal places. Okay. So it's not really going to do anything, right? So, oh, am I saying a curly bracket? No, I got everything. All right. Oh, if I want to round. So I would say, hey, I want to round whatever number is in here. Okay. Inside. Okay. I'm going to round whatever number is there. So 2 decimal places. Now I already have a whole number, right? I already have a whole number. Okay. But I think it's the standard deviation. Standard deviation. Oh, that's what I should have copied. Poof. Standard deviation has other numbers. So again, I'm going to take the F out. Okay. And of course, this is out. Okay. Sales back. Okay. All right. So I have sales. And of course, this is out. Okay. okay? But I'm gonna round. So if I do round, okay? So when I do round, I round as a deviation, right? In here, 2 decimals, okay? Not 2 decimal places, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's see what happens. What do I got? Oh, did I forget to close it? Where did I forget? Line 16. Oh, you believe this? I forgot to close it here. Okay. Yeah, programs that would just autocorrect 2 decimal places. Now remember, it was like 254, about some long number. Okay, so I have 8,900. Okay, rounding, and I don't want 2 decimal places. Round to 1. There you go. 1 decimal place. 2 decimal places. It's already at 2 decimal places. Okay, so 254.41.4, because I was like 2 decimal. It's already at 2 decimal places. So you can see what it looks like. All right. Remember the format up here? I had to add it to like format 2 decimal places, but here it was like truncated and this and that. So, all right. So we have that. So that's playing with NumPy. Okay. So now, what about pandas? All right. Some people are like, what? Yeah. So how do we play with pandas? Like, do we do certain things? Do we play around? I mean, we already got the standard deviation part. What do we do with pandas? So I'm trying to think of something where can we open the file, this, that, because I want to do some MATLAB. Matplotlib. Okay, so we want to see how that works. So, we could just take some information we have now. So again, I want to save this. And save. I do Control S. So let's say I have this already. Okay. So I already have NumPy. And what I want to do is import Matplot library. So it's Matplotlib. Okay. Now, the thing is, let's say we installed it. Let's make sure we installed it. So we're going to do pip install Matplotlib. Okay. Now, I already have it installed. But if you guys didn't have it installed, I didn't have it installed. Oh, look at that. Oh, I would have had some errors I didn't have installed. Okay, it's going. All right, it's done. All right. So again, install it. Matplotlib. All right. So make sure you install it. So I got Matplotlib, okay, and I'm going to do a pylon plot. Okay, and I'm going to do this all as PLT. Yeah, that makes sense. So again, this will give me this. Okay, so I already got tools that's going to give me some type of plot, right? I got my NumPy in there. I got this in there. I got my sales list. All that stuff is in there. So you start wondering, oh man, I'm not, I thought I was typing. All right. So I'm going to play around and I have this. I got my months, I got my sales list. Right? And I want to do some statistics. All right. I want to do some statistics, but I'm going to use NumPy for my statistics. All right, so let's put some comments here. NumPy for stats. Okay, I'm going to use NumPy for my stats. All right, so I'm going to say total sales, right? So where's my underscore? Sales equals, I'm doing total sales. It's going to be sales dot sum. All right, remember, this is going to be my total sales because we did it before. You guys saw it. So my total sales out of this, it's going to go into here. Okay, so there was 1,000 records, 1,000 numbers, it'll all go into one. All right. Then I'm going to go mean sales. Okay, mean sales. It's going to be sales dot mean. Remember? Okay, so that gives me my mean. That's the average. So then if I want standard deviation, STD, sales equals sales dot, what was it? STD. Okay, so you guys see that STD, so it's gonna give me the standard deviation, my mean, and my sum. Everybody good? All right. Now, if I wanted to do print total sales, this and that, it'll still, all that stuff is still there. Okay, I could have my rounding, all that stuff. I could get rid of it if I wanted to. But let's say I want to see a visual chart. So let's say down here, this is gonna be my Matplotlib chart. Okay, this is gonna be my chart. So I'm gonna do a print. All right, just to give it space. So I'm gonna do a PLT. Okay. Now remember, what is PLT? All the way at the top. It's gonna be Matplotlib.python plot. Okay. So it's gonna be my PLT. Okay. And I'm gonna have title. Oh. Okay, because I'm saying I'm gonna have my title. All right, so check it out. It's gonna post where my title is gonna be monthly. Oops. Monthly sales. And ooh, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Monthly sales. Okay, I put monthly U. Okay, so I have PLT.title. That's the option. It's gonna print out my title. Okay, so if you want to see, if you're not sure what all the options are, do dot and then you start looking. All right, so you can look at title. You can see all types of things. So you could just play. Okay, you could just play. So I have my title. So this where I want to do my X label. So that's one going across. So X label, there it is. Okay. And what's my X label going across? I don't know. Month and then sales going over that. Yeah. So let's do month. Okay. And PLT dot Y label. Okay. And that's going to be my sales revenue. All right. So sales. Now, the thing is, it's got to do my sales revenue, and I'm just trying to make it fancy. That's all in my quotation. I didn't use any F, so don't get confused if I did something special. I didn't use any F in here. I just want sales, and it's going to be in dollar figures so somebody can see it. If I went pound, then I would use I put Y. I would use the pound symbol. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is the line plot. So all I did was the chart, right? The title, the X, and the title, and the X label and the Y label. So now we're gonna do the line plot. So you can actually see where the line plot is going. Okay, this is the line plot. You ready? So we're doing PLT. Okay, PLT again, and we're using the plot feature. Now you're probably like, are there options? Yes, you have a lot of options. You have bars, this and that. Okay, but no, I don't want to do that yet. So we're gonna do plot. Okay, we're doing plot. So what are we doing? Well, I want months. Remember, associated with sales. Okay, and then I want something that's basically markers. So what type of markers am I? Am I gonna use X or zeros? So markers. Okay, so my marker will be, in this case, I'm going to use little O's. Okay, you use X, whatever, something, so you can see it along your chart. The label for that, okay, these are parameters, right? It's going to be monthly sales. Okay, that's what's going to be labeled there. All right, so that's my line. Okay, what if I want my average line? Okay, so let's type average so you can see where it's at. My average line. All right, so I got PLT. All right, remember that AX I showed you? Average horizontal line. Like what? That's why I hit that too early. So this is mean, okay? So this would be mean sales, okay? Mean sales, because we're looking for average, right? And then, of course, the line style. Okay. Okay, so you have the line style we're going to use. Now we're going to use lines. Let's go like a dash, like, try to carve it out. Now, if you have special like symbols you have coming ahead of it, you can play with it. Label, just like at the top. So what I'm going to do for the label. Now this, remember, we're going to do the F because we want it to look different, like special as far as decimal places, because the average can be really long. So I got my F, all right? Again, F equals average, because I wanted to stay. And then I have to do the curly bracket, okay? Because now what are you going to do? What are we going to put in maybe 1 or 2 decimal places? It's going to be our mean. There's my mean sales, because the mean sales can be long. And then, of course, it's colon and period 2F, close curly bracket. Yeah. And I already got my quotation mark. Okay. So I got this all set up. Okay. Got this all set up. And then we'll print out a legend. Okay. Now the legend is interesting. Oops. The legend is interesting. You got, it will actually like give you oops. Nice. Well, I'm gonna let you play. We'll see. And then we got our legend, and then now we're gonna show it because we have everything set up, but it won't show until you actually tell it to show. All right. So let's take a look at this. All right. Okay. Now this is the Matplotlib library. All right. So check it out, and we're using NumPy. All right. There's your chart. Isn't it awesome? There's your double dashes. So you can see your average. And we're using the O's, right? All right. So there's the O's. So again, you could take your information and you got to remember, this is feeding off, let's say you have that feeding off another file, an array that has a list of all your sales. Remember like how we did the months and the weeks? You could do it from there too. Import from that file, import from that file. So it's kind of cool that you could just write code, okay, that'll actually give you that information, okay? So it's kind of cool because, again, this could have been taken from another file, okay? Just like we did before. Remember, months and days could be another file off another server. And we're porting it in. And then you're just writing code. Hey, this is what I wanted it to look like. And there's your chart. So again, you could change this to, you could change the X, and this is what it looks like. It looks like weak, okay? Okay, it looks weak. You see how it is? That's why I said the O's look kind of nice, all right? But it gives you actually, and then your legend, explains what it is, your average sales. There's your months. Okay, there's your months. Remember, that's right here. And then sales. Okay, now remember your sales. That's the Y label, the dollar sign, and your X label for your month right here. Okay, that's right there. I'll zoom in real quick. Okay, so there's your months. Okay, so you can see that where it's kind of cool because, oh, let me zoom in again. It's kind of cool because you can see the months there. Oops. You can see the month there. It's all set up, Y label. So you could actually run. So again, grabbing data, especially CSV files, tags. You gotta remember back then you didn't have all these apps. Python did the work. And once you have your script, it's gone. It's no playing around with Excel, this, that. But you could just grab it and from different files, CSV files, text files. So like in Excel, you got to import it. You got to make sure it doesn't move around. But if you know where your fields are, information is, you can do a lot of stuff. So again, you have Matplotlib library, okay? Okay, and we saw NumPy, okay? Now, you got to ask yourself, what about pandas? Okay, what about pandas? Well, pandas fits naturally right after your NumPy, right? And your Matplotlib library example, right, that we just did, okay? So you need to ask yourself, okay, so what I'll do, I got this. What if, hey, I'll import pandas. Okay, so let's import pandas. Okay, I'm gonna input pandas as PD. Okay, And this one. Okay, and I had that as PLT. Oops. Okay, so let me save it. So right now I'm importing the Pandas library. I'm using NP and PLT. So what am I gonna do with Panda? Well, Panda, all right, again, I could take information and put it into a function. Well, not a function, but what's called a table. And that table, when it comes to Python, even our program, it's called a data frame. So I'm gonna take this, and let's create a function, def, all right? And we're gonna define a data frame. We're not gonna create a function. We're creating a data frame. That's df. Df is defining a function. In this case, we're creating a data frame. So PD, but this is the label. That's just the label. PD dot data frame. Okay, and this is coming up because we're importing pandas. All right, you can see as soon as I started using PD. Oh, let's go. All right, and if you're not sure, if you remember it, you can always hit dot and then look for data frame. Okay, so I didn't mean to do that. All right, so you got data frame. So open parentheses, all right, and it's curly bracket. Okay, so what are we doing? We're taking month. We're gonna take the month. Okay, that's our label. All right, and then we're gonna put months. Okay, comma, and you know how I like to put everything underneath it so it's lined up. And then we're gonna do sales. Okay. Sales, and we're gonna do sales list. Sales lists are numbers that we're using. Now you probably wonder what we're doing. We're gonna take this, and it's all gonna be in one table. So check it out, right? So watch this, what this looks like. Print df. Okay, so we took this and created in its own table. And you're like, what? Yes, we created another table. So take a look at this. Like, check it out, check it out. All right. Okay. There's your table. All right, there's your index records. So you got month and sales. We created a data frame. Okay. And we still have our chart. All right. So you still have it. Nothing that disappears. You still have it. All right, you still have it. So now, let's say we wanted to change something, right? We want to change something. So we got our table, we got that. All right. So we got pandas, right? It used NumPy. Okay. All right. And we got this. So what if can we use pandas plus Matplotlib? We use NumPy and Matplot. Can we use pandas Matplot? All right. So this is panda. And then we're gonna use Matplot. So how do we do that? All right, so check it out. It's crazy, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of all this. And some people are gonna see that, hey, how come this is a lot easier, all right? So I'm gonna wipe this out. And you're like, oh, you lost all your data. No, we didn't. Wiped it all out, right? So I'm gonna do df. Check it out. Plot. Okay, ready? And, oops, nope, open parentheses. Gosh, got this fancy mic in front of me. So we got df.plot, right? So here you're gonna have your x equals, check it out, month. Okay, then we have y equals, right? Wasn't that sales? All right, so keep in mind. Oh, and I forgot to put the comma. Okay. Okay, so we got month, we got x, poof, for month, and we got Y for sales, right? So then we have a title. All right. So title is going to equal to monthly sales. All right. So we got that, comma. Okay. So we got monthly sales. Then the marker is equal to, we're going to use a little O. Now, some people say, yo, this looks better than Matplotlib. Yeah, check this out. Legend, okay, equals, now remember, false. Okay, so if you want a short or not, false. Okay. So if you want to show it or not, true or false. So I got this. So I just set up, okay, my plot. So now I'm going to do PLT, all right? Y label, okay, label, okay. And I want that with the sales number. Remember the sales number where it has the $? All right, sales, and there was a space, $, okay. And then PLT show. Now, remember how it was before, right? It was a little different. And here it's like a little bit better. So data stays labeled, calculations are readable, okay? And it works directly with the charts, right? Pandas works directly with the charts, a lot easier. So I don't have to really define much more, okay? So, I have my table. So when you see a line number like this high, okay, it's something that I typed in there. It's not working with the library that's already there. So you can see all lines of code, right? So it's telling me a line 15 in my file, okay, dfplot, I have an issue. So what do I have an issue? Line 15. So I have df.plot. All right, I'm looking at the channel at the same time. Oh, let me zoom out. Okay, so, all right, so x equals, okay, dfplot. So I did a comma. I'm looking. I know, why should be something stupid? My x, which month, comma, what my dfplot? So I think it should work. So this shouldn't matter. I'm just trying to make sure everything looks the same. I'm trying to see if I'm missing something. All right, because I have my Y label, PLT Y label sales. That's fine, and I have my PLT show, and I am importing Matplotlib library. Now it should matter where I'm at, so I import Matplotlib library as PLT, and I import. Well, it should matter. Is it messing up with? Nah, it shouldn't matter. No, it shouldn't matter. It should matter. I'm saying nothing should matter. It shouldn't matter with my data frame. That's what I'm wondering. All right. Well, it should matter. I got my months. Boom. That's fine. That worked perfectly fine. So the DF. So hold on. Prints out this. So it did. So my df.plot. Y equals sales. And title, monthly sales. I gotta see what's going on. It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So hold on. Hold on, did I save it? Yeah, I saved it. So I don't know what's going on. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So hold on, I'm trying to figure out this. So it's not looking at anything. Okay. So hold on. Okay, I saved it. Just want to make sure I saved it. So I'm trying to think. What I did wrong. Check anybody in the chat. Nobody in the chat to kind of help me with this. So I'm trying. It's sales list. Sales. No, that's not it. Sales list. Sales list. Nah. Guess what I did wrong, guys? This doesn't exist. So you gotta remember here, month, right? Month sales, sales list. What I should have done, see here, right here, I have sales, right, lowercase, and here's looking for sales. Duh. That shouldn't be the problem. You're probably thinking, but is it straight? Because it's looking for it. So in this case, it doesn't exist. There you go. All right. That's one of the little quirks about pandas, where you think you're just creating a string, you're defining it, saying this is equal to that. And it can't find it. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, what is it? And I gotta get my mind around it. So you look at two different tools, two different exercises where you can see certain things. So you have to ask yourself, yo, how does this work? How did this work? So you gotta try to figure out, like, can I mess with this? Can I mess with this? So we have month, we have sales. I could do the average, create another chart, but you can see where, hey, there's my thing, there's my sales, month, but you'll notice your legend. So you don't see a legend in here, right? So how about if I say true? Okay. So go to my table. Okay. And I said true, like, yo, oh, did I save it? Okay. Okay. So if I say false, no legend. Okay, no legend. So if I wanted a legend, then you're looking at something totally different. So what would I do? All right, so check this out. Ready? Legend was false, right? But if I want a legend, check it out. Check it out. I'm gonna put a legend in here. You can't say true. All right. Remember, I hit play, and you don't see a legend. You're like, yo, where's my legend? There it is. Sales. So if I say false, all right, you don't see a legend. Okay. Now, what if I did something different? All right. Let's say I don't have this here. Okay. Take the comma out. Let's say I do something else later. I want to do a legend later, right? So you could do PLT dot legend. You're like, what? Oh, I forgot my D. You could do legend, right? So check it out. See what it does. All right. Come on. There you go. So if you want it, you could use it later instead of doing false. So you have options. So you can play around with this. You could hide it, put it out. So you could really do a lot of stuff with this. So now if I wanted to do, now this Panda. If I wanted to, so you got your data frame, right? Let's say you wanted something with mean sales. You're like, what? You want to do something with mean sales. So you like here, I mean, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Mean sales. Okay. Again, remember? All right. DF. And remember, sales. Okay. And here we go. Dot mean. Okay. So we got DF, an array. Okay. And we're looking at sales, right? So now check this out. So we got mean sales, we got your data frame, and then you say, hey, I want to do a data plot. So let's get this out. Okay. Okay. With this out. So we got DF dot plot. We got month, we got sales, we got title, we got your marker. Okay. Now instead of title, let's put something different. We'll just put label. Okay. So we got label, and let me break this up. Try to make it tight. All right. And this time, all right, we're gonna do the average line. So we're gonna do PLT dot average horizontal line. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a mean. All right. And that's gonna be our mean sales, and the line style. That's why I was like, I wish it was like something else, right? Now we're gonna just put the two dashes. We're gonna put two dashes because that's the line style we're gonna be using. You can put stars, other type of stuff, but it's gonna be weird. And we're gonna do the label, and we're gonna do a special format. We're gonna use the F. Remember the F key? Okay. And when we do that, we're gonna do average. Oops. We're gonna say average. Okay. And parentheses, curly bracket. That's the format. And what we're gonna format? Mean sales. We want it in 2 decimal places. That means we need the to-do symbol, period 2F, close curly bracket. Okay. And I think we got that. Yep, we got that. Okay. So we got the average horizontal line. We got the legend. We got the label. And then we're going to show. But then instead of title up here, we're going to put title there. So what I'm doing is showing you how you can play around with this and start mix matching stuff. There's title. Okay. Stuff around. So here you can say monthly sales with average. What way to do that? Okay, monthly sales with average. So make sure. I don't know why I always get this. That makes me nervous. All right, because every time it does that. Okay. Yeah, that's why I said. Hold on. Save it. I was like, save it. Okay, what is it doing? DF is not defined. It's not defined. Okay, am I doing it too early? Okay, mean sales. Okay, DF. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I have my PLT, PD, MP. I don't really need it. I got my months and sales list. Oh, the error, case sensitive. Hi. Somebody said, boom, nice one. Got it while I was getting my keyboard out. Case sensitive. Let's see the error. Oh, let's do it again. Do I did it case sensitive? Did I do it case sensitive? I'm like, okay, says line 8. So it's my line 8, not defined. What did I do on line 8? I'm just reading. I'm trying to see the chat now at the same time. Where am I on line 8? I mean DF. I'm using DF, but what I should have done was I should have said this. Okay, is it because I forgot to do? Let me see. Because I did this, the D plot, but I did not go up here because it's not defined. I should have done DF equals. Okay. What did I forget? The data frame. Panda. Data frame. I forgot that. Open curly bracket because I deleted it. I did that. Curly bracket. So in there I have month. Okay. Colon. Okay. This could be months. And that's comma. And then I have sales. Okay. Colon, and that's sales list. I didn't even see that. Okay. I didn't even see that. Because when I saw this, I'm like, because I didn't define it. I didn't define it. So that's what's so funny. So, mean sales, the app, all right. All right, so save it. Run it. There you go. So I have my average, I have my my legend, my chart. Everything's good to go. I'm good. All right. So again, what we did today in this exercise was we saw how arrays work. If I wanted to, I could have had this in another chart, but I would have referenced months, the name of the file, including the month. So I would have did from this, import this. Okay. So I would have got the same thing. So remember over here, if I did in main, we did months, import from calendar data. So when I was here, close it. I'm doing this, I'm playing around. So what if, like, I could have said, hey, this could have been somewhere else, but then I would have referenced it. Like, what? Yeah, so let's try this, right? We're gonna try something. Yeah, we're gonna try something. I always like trying to mess around with this. So check it out. So I got main, I'm not using. Let's create another one. So let's create another file. All right, and oops, we'll create another file. And this one is gonna be, let's say, called like our data underscore test dot py. Okay. I thought I saved it. File, save as. Okay. Data underscore test dot py. I thought I saved it. Yeah, here we go. So I got that. All right. So I'm gonna split the screen up. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it here. Save it. So this, I'm gonna wipe it out. Okay. Now, you notice here's not finding, right? So in this case, I want to do what? I want to import, right? So I got all this. So I'm gonna say from, okay, data test, okay, import months. Okay, and it's a months sales list. Okay, so we got this, right? So you see what happens? Oops. Oh, I forgot. What was that? NumPy? Was that oh my gosh, was that MP? Yeah, it was MP. Okay, so, and we didn't even use NumPy. Anyway, so from this list, from this file, I'm importing sales list, right? So I saved this here, saved here, let's say run. All right. So again, just like we did before, we were able to get information from an array. Then we were able to get information from an array, that's in another file. But now we're also able to run charts from an array that's on another file. Okay, so now you can see how like, oh, so we're using code to be able to get information from different files. All right, so anyway, that's gonna be it. It's like, wow, it's 11:18 on my standard time. So what we're gonna do is, I wish I had more time. We're gonna do it the next session. What I wanna do is show you how not only we're gonna get it from another Python file, we're gonna get it from a text file, a CSV, and an Excel spreadsheet file. Okay, and that's another library you're gonna get, but and then we'll show you how to get it from a local SQL server. So we see if we can do all that at once. And then we can start doing some filtering and we can do some larger data. So we can start playing around with this. So again, thank you guys for coming, and a shout out to Sisu 8125. And I saw you said, yeah, it's case sensitive. I know. So as you're typing, you're like, where am I? And that's why I like my big screen. I like to like zoom in, zoom out. And I tell my students, because my students will be like, all this, I can't find the error. Are you serious? So have fun, check it out. I'll see you. I know I'm gonna go live again on Friday. We're gonna go right into Unreal Engine. But again, on Mondays, remember guys, on Mondays, we start doing a lot of stuff in Autodesk, coding in Autodesk to do some great things. We work out with Hypershade and stuff like that. We do Python in there as well. A lot of Python. And then we're back on Wednesdays. We start doing some things. Last week we did games. This week was just more data science, data analytics, because I got students from 2 to 3 different schools. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? So that's what I'm trying to do. So again, see you next time. Take care. Have fun. I'll see you, and thank you for signing up. But don't forget to follow, subscribe, and so you can be notified on the next lessons. Thanks, and see ya.